Friends, let us start with Rule 32 Sub Rule 5, where valuation for supply of second-hand goods is given. This rule is applicable to all such dealers who deal in second-hand goods. This is also such rule where repair and sale kind of transaction is also involved, right? All these things are given in the act. Please go through that, pause the video. I will just tell you what it means, what it says. This rule is also called as margin scheme because GST is applicable on margin earned. This rule is only an option to the dealer who has business of dealing in second-hand goods. If the businessman wants to value under normal valuation scheme as per general rules or simple transaction value, right, section 15 subsection 1, their normal valuation is given. If you want to go with that valuation, you can do, right? For example, Cars 24, Maruti Suzuki's true value. These are such enterprises where they have chosen for normal valuation and not this rule sub rule 5, right? GST Council has not clarified on the point that whether such dealer can show GST collected from customers separately in invoices. Therefore, no clarification as such is known to anyone right now. However, through flyer, government has given some flyer or pamphlet like that. Through flyer, government states that GST so charged to the customer shall not be shown separately. Therefore, it should be included in the margin only. What is this rule? You may ask me. What is this rule? Rule is value will be equal to difference between selling price and the purchase price. Hope you understood. See, there will be a person who purchases the goods for less cost and sells it for higher cost. So this person will be selling it for a profit, and that will be charged the GST. Right, this is what you can understand. So exceptions are also given for this rule, and that exception is this scheme is only applicable to those who deal in second-hand goods. Okay, those who sell second-hand goods after using it for a considerable time, this scheme is not applicable. Why? Because they are not doing the business. If you are doing the business, or if you are making a supply in the course of furtherance of business, then only this rule is applicable. Okay, only such minor repairs or changes are allowed which does not change the nature of goods. Okay, only such things are allowed under this rule. If the nature of good is changing, then this rule is not applicable. Essentially, ITC should not have been availed by the purchaser. Essentially, ITC should not be availed by the purchaser on these goods. Okay, but these goods must be purchased in the course of business and it should be supplied further, and then only this rule is applicable. Let us go with this illustration so that you can understand. Okay, there are these many cases given. Five cases are given. Let us start with the cases. Mr. Srinath deals with the second-hand goods. He buys old cars from customers and sells it after minor repairs to the buyers and after adding his profit and cost of repair. In the month of April 2021, he bought 2 cars for 2 lakhs and sold them after minor repair of 2.3 lakhs. Cost of repairs is rupees 10,000. Okay, this is the case 1 given. We will see the answer of this case and then we will read the case 2 later. Okay, if you have understood this question, that is well and good. If not, please pause the video and read the question again. So what is the answer? Mr. Srinath is a dealer in second-hand goods. Obviously we know that, and therefore this rule is applicable. Okay, being dealer in second-hand goods is very important. Okay, so value of supply will be difference between selling price and purchase price. Value of supply will be 2,30,000 minus 2 lakh. This is selling price minus purchase price, and 30,000 will be the value of supply. On this GST will be charged. How much GST? The rate as per that good consider. Okay, except for the cars, there is one amendment made for the cars. Okay, for these cars we will see it later, but except for the cars, whatever is the charge as notified by the government, that is applicable on this value of supply, right? What is the case 2? Case 2 is, will your answer change if selling price is 1.90 lakhs without repair? It means purchased the car for 2 lakhs and selling price is less than 2 lakhs. What will be the value of supply? Nil, because negative differences shall be considered as nil. This is the rule given. Okay, I will read this rule for you people. Where the value of supply is negative, it shall be ignored. It shall be ignored means we are considering it as nil. Nil means 0. Case 3. Mrs. Shakuntala is a housewife. She is not a dealer. She is a housewife and owns 2 houses. She sells one house for rupees 50 lakhs to a buyer, and she bought a new house for 60 lakhs in the same city. So she has 2 houses. She lives in one and another she sold, and whatever sales proceeds she has received, she has purchased another house. This is the case given, case 3. Mrs. Shakuntala is a housewife. She is not involved in the business of second-hand goods. Therefore, GST is not applicable. What if Shakuntala was an agent? If Shakuntala was an agent who deals in such business, then GST was applicable. But she is a housewife. Therefore, GST is not applicable. There is a note given here in special characters here. The definition of supply states that the supply must be done in the course of furtherance of business. Okay, furtherance of business has to be there. Selling houses is not the business of Mrs. Shakuntala. Therefore, it is not a supply. Thus, this transaction is out of scope of GST. If GST is not applicable, can you tell me what is applicable? It is capital gain in Income Tax Act 1961, right? So case 4, let us start with the case 4. Miss Priya purchased old glass bottles, 50 units she has purchased from a shop where it was remained unsold for a very long period for rupees 500. Okay, 50 units she has bought for rupees 500. It means 50 per unit, right? She painted 10 rupees 10 per unit. She painted and crafted on these bottles, glass bottles, right? She painted and crafted on these bottles and made it beautiful craft out of them and sold it for rupees 50 per unit. Determine if this transaction is valued under rule 32 and sub-rule 5. Sub-rule 5, as you know, it is for valuation of goods. Hope you have understood this case. If not, please pause the video and read that. Let us see the answer of case 4. Miss Priya has bought the unsold glass bottles. She has purchased unsold glass bottles and worked on it to make craft item. This means the nature of item has changed. Earlier that was only the glass bottle, plain glass bottle, but now it is a craft item, and therefore nature has been changed, and therefore this rule is not applicable. Hope you understand this, right? So we are only learning this rule, therefore this rule is not applicable. Now let us start with the case 5. Mr. Vinayak has a business of metal cutlery making. Metal cutlery making. Cutlery means spoons and other kitchen items. He purchases metals like steel, brass, aluminium, iron, etc. and makes cutlery items out of this. So what are the metals? Steel, brass, aluminium and iron, okay, etc. they have given. It means he is also purchasing some other metals. During April 2021, he purchased raw metals worth rupees 60,000 and old cutlery costing rupees 30,000. So he is purchasing both what? Raw material and also old cutlery. He availed ITC on 60,000 of raw materials. So he has taken ITC, that is input tax credit, on these 60,000 raw materials. After processing all input materials, he has used old cutlery plus raw metals, and he made a cutlery. He sold the whole stock for rupees 1,50,000. Determine value of supply under this rule. This is the case given. Please pause the video and read it again. Try to understand this question. It is given in very simple language. Let us see what is this case 5. Mr. Vinayak has availed ITC on raw materials of rupees 60,000. So ITC he has taken, right? So this portion of supply cannot be valued under rule 32 of 5. Also he has used raw materials to make cutlery. Okay, this is pure manufacturing activity and not supply of second-hand goods. Hope you understand this point. However, the portion of old cutlery purchased and selling new cutlery purchased can be valued under this rule, but the clear information of this is unavailable. We don't know what is happening over here, right? Therefore the whole supply cannot be valued under this rule. So I simply hope that you have understood all these 5 cases. These are very beautiful cases I have given, right? Let us start with the important point which I said earlier. There is concessional rate for the vehicles only, which are dealt by second-hand dealer. This is only with respect to vehicles where concessional GST rate is applicable. For all other goods, GST rate is same for new purchase or old purchases. And clarification is given through notification number 8 2018, commercial taxation dated 25th of January 2018. GST rate for specified vehicles shall be 18% and for all others it is 12%. Through this notification I have brought these many information. All these have been given in this notification only. Okay, so GST will be 18% on old and used petrol vehicles or LPG vehicles or compressed natural gas, that is CNG driven motor vehicles of engine capacity of 1200 cc or more and of length of 4000 mm or more. So they have given particular specifications over here. Second rule says that GST will be 18% on old and used diesel driven motor vehicles where engine capacity is 1500 cc or more and length will be 4000 mm or more. GST will be 18% on old and used motor vehicles of engine capacity exceeding 1500 cc, popularly known as SUVs, sports utility vehicles, including utility. If there is any utility in that car, then that utility is also considered as the composite supply, and therefore GST applicable will be 18%. And 12% on all old and used vehicles other than those mentioned from serial number 1 to 3. All vehicles they say, and because they have said vehicles, even motorbikes are considered here, right? Hope you understand this point. Now based on this I have given an illustration over here. Okay, Sumant has a business of trading in second-hand motor cars and motorbikes. He gives the following information related to May 21. Calculate his total GST payable. Purchased a diesel car from Anirudh, 1200cc 3880 mm. So this is less than 4000 mm, right? And 1200 diesel car. For the diesel it is 1500, right? For diesel cars it is for diesel driven cars it is 1500 cc. So this does not fit into here. He has purchased it for 80,000 rupees and he has spent 25,000 on repairs and therefore sold for rupees 1,35,000, right? This is the question given. We'll see how this valuation is done. He has purchased a petrol car from Bharti, 800cc, Maruti 800 probably, and 3000 mm is the length of the car. This is also less than 4000 mm. This is also less than 4000 mm. And he has purchased it for 50,000 rupees, sold it for 65,000, right? Purchased SUV from Chandu. This is third case given. 2400 cc 2400 cc means it is more than 1500 cc, and 4500 mm, this is above the details given, for 2.5 lakhs and sold it for 3 lakh. And case 4 will be the purchased motorbike from Deepa, 125 cc and 1200 mm for 35,000, sold it for 50,000 after making minor repairs of rupees 5,000. Assume that Sumant is a registered person under GST and has not availed any ITC for the purpose of this rule. So on all of these, ITC has not been availed, and therefore we have to calculate, right? Here, let us start. Purchased diesel car from Anirudh. This information is given. 80,000 is the purchase price, sales price is 1,35,000 and repairs is 25,000. So 1,35,000 is sales price minus purchase price minus repairs. Margin earned is 30,000 and GST rate applicable is 12%, because this does not fall into the point number 1 above, right? So therefore 12%, 3,600 will be the value, 12% on 30,000. Case 2, petrol car from Bharti, 65,000 is the sales price, petrol car, that Maruti 800 case. So 65,000 is sales price minus 50,000, no repairs have been made, and therefore 15,000 is the margin, or margin means difference between these two, and 12% is the rate of tax, and therefore 1,800 will be the value. SUV from Chandu has been purchased for 3 lakh and it was sold for 3 lakh and purchased for 2.5 lakh. Margin is 50,000, 18%. Why 18%? Because this is above 1,500 cc and above this 4,000 mm. Sir, you may ask me, sir, how about this if it is less than 4,000 mm but this is more than 1,500 cc, then also 18% rate is applicable. Okay, now case 4, motorbike from Deepa, right? Sold it for 50,000 and 35,000 is the purchase price, 50,000 sales price, 35,000 purchase price, and 5,000 will be the is the cost of repairs, right? So therefore 10,000 is the margin earned, 12% is the GST rate applicable, and therefore 1,200 will be the value. Therefore the total value of supply for the month of 2021 is 1,05,000 here, total of this, right? GST rate and all other things I have not calculated, because see, everything is calculated here, and total is 15,600. that is the total GST payable for the month of May 2021. So this is another simple example which is given under rule 32 of 5. Hope you have understood this all point. If any questions, doubts and clarifications are required, you can do that in the comment section below. Okay, and there are these two rules which I think I should consider in today's video only. Valuation of voucher, rule 32 and sub rule 6, valuation of voucher has been given, where value of supply will be equal to monetary value of goods or services supplied against whatever voucher is given. Value of supply will be the monetary value. Suppose you have got voucher of rupees 1,000 and you have actually received it in the discount for rupees 900, but for the purpose of valuation of GST we are considering that voucher valuation at rupees 1,000 only, right? So this is the valuation of voucher. And rule 37 has been given here for the deemed distinct persons. The value of taxable supplies provided by such class of service providers as may be notified by the government on the recommendations of council as referred to para 2 of schedule 1 of the said act between the distinct persons as referred to in section 25. Let me tell you these all. Section 25 is the procedure for registration. Schedule 1 under the schedule 1 comes under section 7, that is for the transaction where we are going to consider those transactions as supply, okay, where input tax credit is available shall be deemed to be nil. Let me tell you, rule 32 and sub rule 7 has not been in practice today. Okay, it is only given in the act. This is not applicable today. it is not operational as on this date, that is May 2021, and therefore I request you, please skip this point. If you, even if you are CA, CS, CMA, or student of any BCom or MBA or any other professional courses, even if you are trying for the GST practitioner course, see, this rule is not applicable because it is not operational. Okay, this is not at all useful for you people, but however it was given in the act, I have just considered it here. If any supply of such services have been occurred, then that will be considered as nil. Okay, government has given power to notify for this transaction. However, till date no such notification have been received in this regard, and therefore rule 32 of 7 is also not valid. Okay, everything has been covered. I request you to kindly comment below for any doubts and clarifications. Right, see you in next video. Thank you for watching this video.